So Coke Studio, I produced the jam for Moji and a guy called Bass Rat, and then I produced another jam for Calligraph and Rude Boy.
Yeah.
Which ended up becoming like the best song of the season.
Of that season.
COVID was the worst thing to happen to entertainment.
Yeah, like your funniest role, like, you know, you can say like I'm all these 7 things, but my favorite one, or the one that brings me most joy, is when I'm a minister and I'm serving in church. Or when it comes to, let's say it's not that, it's like when I was a performer and being on stage was the best feeling ever.
I think that joy is only in the moment.
Welcome to episode 9 of OMG Another Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I am feeling very excited, but also nervous because for the first time ever, we have a guest with us in studio. Woo! Magic Mike.
Why are you nervous?
I'm so nervous because, you know, I'm usually here yapping by myself.
Ah, okay.
And so now I'm with you.
I think that's more difficult though.
Okay.
Isn't it? No?
No, actually, because I think I've gotten a rhythm now.
Oh, okay.
I know what to say. I know Mombi's going to be behind the camera. I know Njeri's going to be somewhere there with the phone. I know Limo is on sound. Like, there's a little ecosystem happening.
All right.
So, you know, welcome to Huawei Studio. This is obviously my recording partner, Huawei Studio. Make sure you follow them on social media as well as OMG. Another podcast on all social media platforms. You're on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Zote,
Yeah.
and Apple Podcasts. Siku Zombo. Zombo.
Inaishia hapo sheng yako.
Na hiyo nilijua juu ya D na Patelo. After that,
after hiyo ikaisha. Haina noma.
Haujanifunza zingine. It's been a while. How are you?
Niko fiti. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy that. Thank you first of all for accepting my invitation.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for being my friend for many years.
Many years.
Hey, how do you feel?
It's been a while, eh?
It's, you know, do you remember how you had saved me on your phone the first time?
What, Mukamitins? Yeah, it's because... So what for the guys who don't know the story...
Don't tell them.
We met in church, right? We used to attend PCA church back in the day. And she was a leader in the teens ministry. So I had saved her as Mokami Teens.
Oh, God.
So that's how long we've known each other.
We've known each other for a very long time. But thank you for being here.
I just changed it recently. I think last year.
Then you decided to disrespect. You say what you have saved me as now.
I have all had 3-4 names.
I'm Mokami Mora. Let's always remember that. Okay. Thank you very much. So anyone who doesn't know you.
Yeah.
For me, I know you as Michael. Kukusumbua too. But you're Michael, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why, especially when I was thinking of a guest, is someone who has done it all. So we're just counting before the episode started. When I met you, first of all, you are a rapper with a mohawk.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, good old days.
Skele. That was your name.
Come on, nikuchomeana.
See, but I thought, were you ashamed? So you are a rapper.
Yeah.
And then you became a music producer.
Yes.
And a sound engineer.
Yes.
And then a musician, a gospel artist.
Yes. A lot of guys don't know that that's the order, actually. Some guys who know me think that I started like as a performer.
Oh.
I started as a producer.
No, but you started as a rapper though in church.
Yeah, like a rapper.
Yeah.
Then went into production.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then a musician.
Yes.
And then a chef.
For a short while, yeah.
But you have a cookbook. 2.
Yeah.
And then you I remember this order. Then you became a landscaper.
For like a day.
And then you...
Then I got into interior design.
And then you went into interior design, which is what you're doing now.
Which is what I'm currently doing.
And then slowly going into being a contractor.
Yes, well, interior design is just the company grows.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also in the middle of that, I've forgotten to say you've always been a minister of the word.
That has been the constant.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, like throughout.
Yes, that has been the constant.
So that's why I was so interested in having today's topic with you, which is reinvention versus purpose.
Okay.
Anytime I've sat down to have tea with you, this is what you tell me. I'm doing a short. How you told me about interior design.
Yes.
I'm doing a short course. And I am thinking of doing interior design, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, cool. So I thought it was a hobby.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have a TikTok page and that's your business.
Yes.
I don't even know where to start with my question, but I think the first one would be, what's your purpose? Have you found that? And especially because you have morphed into so many things,
Yeah.
can you say that your purpose is in all those things that you do, or do you have a core purpose? And how you've been able to reinvent yourself in those so many ways, but still keeping your core purpose. So I think the first question is, how did you define your purpose?
I think first of all, as a Christian, I define my purpose, which is what I think our general purpose is. It's just to glorify God. I think where we start to think about it harder is, what does that look like for me as an individual? How am I glorifying God? And I think that's where now different elements come in: interests, gifts, calling, things like those. And I think those are some of the ways you can know what your purpose is. For example, if I go biblical, I can't think of a better way to answer.
Yeah.
We could say that Moses' purpose was always to lead the
children of God.
But it took a while.
Yeah.
Right? And I think in the taking a while is where we get confused and frustrated, because we feel like we haven't settled in, or we haven't done anything that's meaningful. Right? I think that's where the battle usually is. So first of all, I'd say when it comes to an individual purpose, we just ask the maker, because I believe that he's the only one who can answer. Like, people can tell you 10 steps to find your purpose, 20 steps to do what, and they're all good, and I'm not knocking them.
Yeah.
They could actually work. But at the core of it is, you go back to your maker, ask them. But in every thing that we end up doing, I think it's in glorifying God. That's at the core of it. Then it translates differently for different people. For me, that has always been a constant. And for me, the way we said, for me, ministry has always been the constant.
Yep.
And all these other things are primarily to give me an income. But I'm lucky because I'm blessed because they're all interests.
Yeah.
They're things that I've been interested in since I was young. I just needed to figure out how to monetize them. So for me, some of them, the purpose they serve, I might mean manaweza kwa mjengo. I'm not saying Jesus every day, but my lifestyle speaks.
Your character.
My character speaks, and some of these things speak louder than spoken word. And also the fact that they allow me to serve in church, because church is voluntary.
Yeah.
They allow me to serve without thinking of, where am I going to sleep? All this, are my needs taken care of? I think that for me, in that way, they glorify God, because they allow me to invest my time and my energy in other works that are directly related to church. It's not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, at the core of it, all humans were built to glorify God.
So that's what you're saying, that's your core purpose.
That's my core purpose.
My mind is blown, because I think when we think about purpose, we think about, this is a kind of career purpose, the career path rather you should be taking, kwa sababu, let's say, of your gifts or your experiences or your talents and things like that. But you have clarified and said that purpose comes from the fact that like what has God called you to do, and that is obviously minister.
Yeah.
And then everything else is based on your talent and your interest, and then obviously your source of income, how you can do it.
Yeah.
But knowing you, like, even with your interest, I don't know if you were always chasing the money, but I felt like it was also like a thing for fulfillment. Like, let's say, for example, music.
Yes. It never starts with the money, and I think that's always like the wrong place to start. Because if you're chasing money with different hustles, for lack of a better word, the money, it can take some time to start streaming in. And that's why I consider myself lucky and blessed, because all the things that I'm doing that are making me money or I've done were always interests.
Yeah.
Like I loved doing that thing. So it allowed me to persevere, until it gets to a place. But also I had a vision. And also it took time. Like, I remember when I started this interior design thing, even when I went back to school, like, I know one time I remember I told my friend, it's going to take me 2 years to build this company to where I want it to be. By the time those 2 years ended, I had a company that was registered, VAT approved. Like I had a company that was where I saw it.
Yeah.
But I knew that it would take some time, to build it. And so some guys, I think people want quick, chap. They don't want to put in the time. They don't want to build it block by block. I think that's discouraging.
Well, you kind of make it look easy, not just you, even people on social media. No one is really saying that for maybe a year, it was dry boards season, like nothing was really moving. I mean, and then obviously the social media highlights what people follow. Like, if someone doesn't know you personally, at least I have been privy to that.
Yeah.
They would be like, you just transition like this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily take time. So I think for me, my question is like, what keeps you grinding and sticking with it, especially those days that are hard? For example, even with me, just with the podcast, sometimes I usually wonder, I'm like, okay, we're getting there, we're building, but it's hard because you learn along the way, you're trying to find your voice and all those things.
Yeah.
At what point did you decide, okay, I'm not giving up and this is something that I'm going to stick with? And throughout your journey and all those things, if you have quit something, I don't think you have really quit any of the interests that you have. At what point did you decide maybe this is not the path, I need to pivot?
You've asked a bunch of questions.
I do that. I think just the building, we can start with the building and then going into, then as you build, when is the right time for you to know, okay, maybe niwachane na hii.
Okay.
And I need to pivot into something else and to know like you're beating a dying horse.
There's a verse in the Bible, like, I'm not sure where it is, but it says, calculate. It's actually Jesus who was saying, if I'm not wrong, he said, calculate your full cost before you start something. Because you might start building and then the building kwamas halfway.
Yeah.
And you become the laughing stock. Right? I think that's important. And calculating the full cost is not only money. It's the time, it's the effort it's going to take. So calculate the full cost of something. If you're going to build something, have an idea of what it takes to build it up. Because it prepares you mentally. And you'll find someone who is realistic, like let's say this podcast. If you know how many episodes it's going to take, what's the order of the episode, like it's going to be cool. If you don't get immediate results, because you know you've given yourself a certain time, and in that time period, you know the steps that you're going to make, right? So even when things don't look like they're, working out, you had prepared yourself mentally.
That you knew that it's a journey.
Yeah, it's a trip. So prepare yourself mentally, have a vision, be realistic with a cost.
So now you followed all those steps.
Yeah.
When do you know that maybe it's time for me to give up the dream? Let's say the podcast, I've given myself a year. I have a strategy in place, or let's not even use my example. Let's use yours. How have you known it's time to move either into the next thing, pivot, or leave something behind and not really, put that much energy into it?
I think I can only say, sorry, I have a cold, guys. Poleni.
Aki nikikuwa mgonjwa. That's what I'm saying. It's on site.
I'll look you up with the medicine I'm taking.
It's on site.
I don't think I'd call it giving up, but there are some things that I've stopped doing, or I've stopped investing too much time and effort into, like the cooking thing. Like I don't do it nowadays. But it's interesting because the entire COVID I survived na cooking.
Ndo nashindwa kwa umeona usango like I'm a bit
yeah, but
and confused pole sana.
I think it worked for that time. But also during COVID is when I was in school for interior design.
Yeah.
So I think for me cooking was just it's like a side thing.
I think you got gigs. You launched.
I got very decent gigs.
Yeah. I think that's when you were telling me about TikTok and how it's like the platform.
I got decent gigs. I think one of my favorites was the Kempinski gig I got. I had a client who had a conference, so I had to do some live cooking. It was really dope. But I think stopping it is, if I continue at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, if I continued to push it, it would have been at the cost of maybe my interior design. But money-wise, I know the interior design one was the was the main thing.
Was the
Not
cash
the
cow.
cooking thing. And then also how much time it takes to create content in it. Like I wasn't willing to put in that much time.
And invest in content creation.
Watu wakiona ipoleni mtuombe, man. We are struggling.
Yeah, I'm just like, nikigonjeka. But so I think that's the thing. So do you now basically, but this one is a hard one, Mike.
Yeah.
Because it's not that you are not successful, even when you like kind of pause on things. Even like, for example, like music, it's not like you are not successful. And I feel like it kind of slowed down. I think that's what I'm looking for. When do you decide I need to pivot? Or are you saying that you also need to be wise in the way you invest your energy, reserves, and how you basically, venye unajigawa, like how you divide your priorities in a way that also doesn't leave you burnt out and running around like a headless chicken? Yeah. Because I think that advice would make so much sense if like something is not working. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But like at that point, you were doing everything great. Like you were successful, and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it also opened up another new world for you. So
I think I can say for me,
yeah,
is that a certain thing I was doing at a certain time wasn't getting me to the place where I wanted to be. For example, music. I feel like I had reached the
peak.
Yeah. Like that was it for me, man. You know, like after Coke Studio,
Yeah.
I didn't see what the next step was.
Please tell us what you did on Coke Studio.
So Coke Studio, I produced what was it, 2018, 2019? Mm-hmm. That was the last Coke Studio. I produced a jam for Moji and a guy called Bisrat, and then I produced another jam for Calligraph and Rude Boy.
Yeah.
Which ended up becoming like the best song of the season.
Oh, that season.
In the history of Coke Studio, they've only done 2 official videos, like music videos. That was Nasty C and the Calligraph, Rude Boy song.
And Rude Boy song, yeah.
So that was a big achievement. But just when you go back home, you're like, okay, like this is it for music. The chances of it getting higher than this.
Michael, at that point is when someone is like, I can pivot even further. I've done Coke Studio Africa. Maybe this means I'm going to be like a global something. So I don't know. I feel like, is it like a thing that you just decide to leave?
But it's also like
at the high.
The reality on the ground, like what are the channels for, you get like what are the channels for taking it to that? And also, you know, when you go back home, you're looking at income. It's like this thing this is the best it'll do for your lifestyle. And you know, at the end of the day, we are talking about as far as it concerns money. But this is the best this is ever gonna do for me in terms of income. So it's not that I left it. I just invest less time in it now as I continue to do other things, like now interior design. Even this interior design, I know in the next 4 years, I don't want to be doing some of the things I'm doing now. Like there's a plan to, like eventually maybe end up in manufacturing or something.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So everything is like a step
stepping
to the
stone
next.
to something else.
Yeah. So like Coke Studio was a step. Maybe it's just me, but at the time I couldn't see what next. Because I'm going back to, it's okay, it's upped my game a bit, my name, Nini, but music can be tricky. And then COVID hit. COVID was the worst thing to happen to entertainment.
So artists weren't necessarily creating. There were no gigs.
You know, when an artist does another gig, they're not coming to the studio
to record.
No. So income is, let me tell you what COVID did for entertainment. It's like you go to sleep one day.
And also just maybe explain to people, like what were you doing at that time? Are you speaking as an artist during COVID? Are you speaking as a music producer, or are you speaking as both?
When COVID hit, I was doing both.
Yeah.
I was doing both music and performing. But I think also mostly production. When COVID came, let me tell you how hard it hit. COVID came, it's like one day you're waiting for gigs, you've scheduled clients, the next day everything is being cancelled. It's like your income goes to whatever it was to zero. Let me tell you an interesting thing the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes. It challenges us. It says, diversify your
Your
investment
investment, yeah.
in 7 or 8 places.
Yes.
It's not a definitive number. It's just an expressive number. It's like diversify.
Make sure you have as many
Yeah.
streams of income as possible.
But when you think about it, is you can't have one source of income that is affected by the same thing your other source of income is affected by. It's just a clever way to think about it. So if I have music and I know that music,
the ripple effect that happened to you.
so I can't have music and another thing and another thing, and then COVID comes again, and all of them die.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense to invest. And like if you have 3 sources of income in this world, you're blessed. 3 that are working, you're blessed. It's difficult to achieve,
to build
that much,
to scale.
So I think it's just one of those. COVID came, you learn. You're like, okay. Entertainment is the first thing people cut out of their budget. And when things start improving, entertainment is the last thing they bring back into their budget.
Yeah.
And people start getting creative on how to stay entertained. So I still love music, but in terms of provision and lifestyle, maybe it's just for me. But I don't want something that can be affected so quickly. Even interior design, I have to look at it and say, okay, so what would affect interior design? So whatever else I invest in and I put my time into to try and grow cannot be affected by the same thing. So that my multiple sources of income, which I'm still working on, I'm so far from getting to where I need to be, but I'll get there eventually. But that's my mindset in terms of. So sometimes pivoting to certain things, it's not necessarily like I'm giving up on. It's just that I don't see, at that particular time, I don't see this thing getting me to where I want to be. But I have this other thing that if I invest time in and resources in and build it, this thing has a better chance of getting me to where I want to be more than this thing. So I'll invest. For me, it only makes sense to invest less time in this and to build more in this.
So if I'm getting it right, you know your purpose, which at the end of the day, you made it very clear is to, minister the gospel. And then, but when it comes to how you've been able to reinvent yourself, it's according to vision, like the vision, what you want to be, how you want your life to be, and then you stick to that. But this is so interesting. I don't think I've ever asked you this question. Do you feel like your identity changes or your identity is tied to any of these things that you do? I don't know if you've heard stories of like someone was like a banker all their lives, or they were, I don't know, engineer who, and when they retire, when they get depression, they don't have like a purpose anymore. Like, like they feel like they don't have a purpose, not that they don't have a purpose. So do you ever feel like all these things that you do, when you are a musician, you are like a different person? I obviously have my own personal experience. I can say that's no. I think you've just been the same person constantly. Your character's never changed. But from a personal experience, do you feel like it's an identity shift whenever you pivot into something else? Pauline.
For me, no. Because I don't tie my identity to my job or my career.
Okay.
It's gonna sound very Christian, but I tie my identity to my faith. So I could change my career tomorrow. I'm still the same guy. If my identity changed, it would be that I left Christ.
So if you leave Christ now, that's when I'll be like, that's not the Mike I know.
Yeah, but I don't, and I think that's a mistake that we do, especially men.
Okay. Because
men have an inbuilt thing to work and to feel like a provider and to feel needed. You get to feel like I'm solving a solution for the people around me, especially men. And then we end up tying our identity so much to our career, but it's not what it's supposed to be.
And the money.
Tied to, and the money and how much income we're making and the lifestyle we're living. But you see, that's not at the core of it, that's not what our identity should be tied to. It should be tied to our maker. That's it.
How do you not let that get into your head? If anyone has been to your house, you have a couple of awards there, accolades, whatever you've done, truly,
Yeah.
you've always been like the best. So I know you've said that obviously you tie back your identity to the faith. Then how do you like keep yourself in check? Obviously, the people like me will always humble you around you, like your friends and family. But like, are there practical ways in which even once you achieve some sort of success, that you still remain humble, I would say, or just like have a good head on your shoulders? How do you, what's the discipline, what's the work of discipline that you've put into yourself to make sure that you're still the same guy, other than your faith, and like you can be a man of God, and we've seen that, but kuna watu, kichwa hufura, and it's very easy to get to that place.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you
is.
check yourself? Or who checks you?
I think number one, and it might sound cliche, my faith, of course. The people around me, because there are people, and like having people around you who, especially maybe if they've known you for a while,
Yeah.
and they don't really care. Like it's not, they don't treat you different because of, and sometimes it means leaving people who treat you too different because, guys, as though you've changed. It's like I have changed. Like I didn't work this hard to stay the same.
What
But
do you
it's
say
really
change is
not-
what way?
Yeah,
like
but
when you never ama
I was about to
lifestyle.
say, but it's really not you who has changed. The reality is, it's probably their attitude towards you.
Towards you.
Because maybe you're a bit more famous. Maybe you look like you're making a bit more money.
Yeah.
How they view you is truly what has changed. So how they treat you and what they expect from you has changed. But you'll find that the people who are close to you, who've known you for a while, they don't change regardless of your achievements. You're not always talking about your achievements. You know, also gets tiring. Oh, ulikuwa wapi? Oliver did, hey, your song ni moto.
Nilikuona wapi?
Like you also want a normal life.
Yeah.
Like you crave for it. So you stay around the people who give you a normal life. And so like staying grounded is not difficult. You just have to watch the people around you, the people who are speaking into your ear. And I get sometimes why people get they get caught up in it. Maybe it's because the people who are whispering into their ear always make them feel so big and oh, life has so changed so much. Oh, now I am deserving of certain treatment. Z. It's that just keep people who are grounded as well around you. And for me also my faith.
So
That
faith.
there are things that matter to me.
Yeah.
Family matters. So regardless of how big you get, family is family.
Yeah.
So just keep some of those things in check and you're okay.
Faith, family, just having good character and humility at the end of the day.
And good friends.
And good friends. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about the statement, a jack of all trades, a master of none? So, I
That's
don't
an
know.
incomplete statement. You know that?
Tell me more. I actually don't know.
What's the saying? A jack of all?
A jack of all trades, a
Yeah.
master of none.
Is a master of none. But oftentimes, a complete look at it. I know I'll probably
You're
kill it.
paraphrasing, yeah.
But oftentimes, better than, is it a master of none?
Oh, so it's a jack of all trades. Yes, I think I remember. A jack of all trades is at the end of the day is better than person who is a master of one.
Yeah, like
Something like that.
if you're doing many things, you'll never master, like basically what it says, you'll never master. But you're better off knowing a bit of a lot.
But those kinds of people are judged of being flaky. Have you, first of all, have you received judgment from your
Not that I've
family,
seen. No.
from your family especially, of like, this guy one day today he wakes up and he's this other thing. Like it's almost like you're being judged for, or you are viewed as quote unquote being flaky. Is that a thing?
No, I haven't received it. I haven't received that.
Do you I feel, I don't know if it's just me and my personal experience as a woman. I feel like you are told things like you're not focused and you need to lock in. And I don't know, I feel like society is more graceful to men
Yeah.
to do different things. And it's like, no kogeria, that Kikuyu thing of like,
Kogeria money.
yeah, so the guy is doing all these things so that he can find it. But then my experience has been, if it's a woman, let me actually share this story where this is coming from. I have an uncle, and I've also kind of changed my career a bit. I was in the media, then I went into advertising, and now I'm in, PR strategy comms. And every time we meet, he's like, Mokami, are you still in the same job? Huh? Have you changed jobs? Like with that not really judgment, but also curiosity of like, he's actually very concerned.
Yeah.
But I also have male cousins who have done like hopping, and for them it's like they've gone through different careers, and that's never a question. It's like, oh, that is so innovative. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's why I asked that specific judgment question of you being seen as unreliable or flaky because of how many times you have reinvented yourself.
Yeah, but again, coming from the older folk, we have to understand that the way careers used to work back in their time is a bit different from the way they work now.
Yeah.
Them, they believed, you stay in a certain job for a long enough time, build up your pension or whatever.
Get benefits.
It's like, you're building one thing.
Yeah.
So that maybe at the end of 20 years, you can get a way better job in the same, if you're a secretary. Now you're just becoming a secretary for them Mdosi, then for them Mdosis. You get, like, they only had, like, it was just one channel built on it. Nowadays, things are changing so much, and there are so many opportunities that we can't build careers the same way they were building. So it's understandable to some extent where they're coming from.
They're concerned.
But also we have to be alert to the fact that they might not understand how much the scene has changed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Because your mind has been, okay, how do you understand it? How I've understood it is that even with different experiences, obviously you have different worldviews. So your mind is expanded, you know how to respond better. Like basically you're just sharper.
Yeah.
So I get that. Do you feel, how do you understand
like an example?
Yeah.
I'm an interior designer. I don't know everything about plumbing, but I know some. I don't know everything about electricals, but I know some. I don't know everything about tiles, but I know some.
Yeah.
But you see, this is knowledge that I continue to grow each and every day. With every project, with every class, I know more about plumbing, I know more about electrical, I know more about joinery fittings, I know more about structures. So I'll never be a master of one, but I'm better than all those guys who are masters because I can employ them.
Yeah, you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, and I know, and I can be able to give advice. I can be able to problem solve. So I think that's how I view it. It puts you in a position to, these CEOs, they never look for, like, they know probably a bit of everything.
Yeah.
They have the vision, they probably know. Then they'll go and hire the professionals. You go now hire the master of one. Go hire the master of one and put together. Yeah, go hire the masters of one and put together a team. But you have the vision, you have enough knowledge to know where the vision is going. I think that's like CEO attitude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you think about it, that's like, I don't know everything about marketing, so I'll just hire a professional marketer. But I know some.
It's true, because even I remember when you were launching your book and, you were just picking my brain about launching and stuff, but you were not clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now you're into marketing and strategies.
Yeah.
But like I know some, so I can have a conversation with a professional.
Yes.
You get, so I can have.
And you also, like, you knew what you wanted, you had questions which were specific.
Yeah.
So it's not like you were starting as a blank canvas.
No. So when I'm sitting down with even the guys at Jomo, like I can have a conversation with all the teams. But you see, with every conversation, my knowledge is growing. Because I'm like a sponge now. My attitude is soak in, learn. No conversation leaves me the same.
That is so poignant. So are you therefore encouraging people to reinvent themselves as much as possible?
Yeah, like even it could be even in the same career.
Yeah.
Grow with time. Evolution doesn't have room for feelings.
Say that again.
Evolution doesn't have room for feelings. And that's how people get left behind. If you look at some of the biggest companies and how they fail, it's because someone somewhere had a feeling. If you look at Nokia, if you look at BlackBerry, if you look at all this,
Kodak. Was it
someone,
Kodak or
someone
Yeah.
had a feeling, but evolution doesn't have time for feelings. All the people who are against AI right now, evolution has no time for
no
feelings.
time for feelings but the ethical concerns and things like that. So I think that is so. I mean, that's so mind blowing.
Yeah.
That's why when I asked you about, do you feel like you're tied to an identity of like when you are
No.
full-time musician, all these things?
Yeah.
So then, do you have a favorite role, the one that brought you the most joy from all the things that you've done?
No. Like a favorite role.
I don't know. I just feel like you're
The most
so.
joy.
You like you roll with the punches so much. Uko tu sawa. Like it's like you make peace with this is where I am now. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, like brought the most joy.
Yeah, like your funniest role, like you can say like I'm all these 7 things, but my favorite one, or the one that brings me most joy, is when I'm a minister and I'm serving in church. Or when it comes to, let's say it's not that, it's like when I was a performer and being on stage was the best feeling ever.
I think that joy is only in the moment. I think it's only in the moment, and it's what that specific thing does. But everything brings joy. Like, let me tell you, let's say, for example, like a construction, right? Like right now we are doing a renovation for a client.
Yep.
The joy there is seeing the client come in and just smile. Like it brings so much fulfillment. Because, they'll never see the work. They'll never see the challenges. Them, they're just waiting for a transformed house.
For the before and after.
Yeah, but like to be able to, like, I think that's one of the biggest achievements. To be able to put a smile, it means you impressed them. It means that they got what they wanted.
And even more.
Yeah, like to just see a client smile because you've done a good job, because they're happy with the work. That brings so, like, you go home, treat yourself to something nice, So that's that. In ministry, like joy comes from in ministry is seeing people's lives transform.
Yeah.
That's joy. That's enough reason for me to get out in the rain the following, because that's how I got my cold. For you to get back in the rain, for you to take the punches from whoever. It's like you're like, okay, that was worth the effort. I think everybody needs to figure out that what provokes that statement in their career, in their whatever they are doing.
It's
what
like
provokes the statement for that was worth the effort.
No, I'm just saying, like, reliving your quote unquote what people call glory days. And I'm asking that because for a very long time you're a performer. So you don't miss that adrenaline rush of being on stage and there are so many people who probably maybe live in the past. Like when I used to do advertising and I'm always reminiscing, those like maybe I should go back. You know what I mean? Like
Move on.
No, that's not my personal view, but you know what I mean. Like they're like once a season is over, and I think that's what you're also trying to say, that some all life has
But
seasons.
don't you feel like someone who thinks about life like that, like it keeps them so much in the past that they are, number one, unappreciative of the present and not looking forward to the future? Because no matter how big your former days, is it former? Yeah, like no matter how big you were in the past, no matter how much you achieved, like there's still more to achieve. There's still more to be done. It might take some time, it might take some work, but until we die, there's still something greater to do.
I think there's one trait that you have, and maybe you see it as kawaida, but you have the ability to accept and accept that this is what life is today, and go with the flow. But your flow is structured. And a lot of people lack that acceptance of when a season ends.
Yeah.
I actually want to talk about that. Like having the grace is actually an episode that I have about, I will speak about, seasons and the grace of transition.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that? Because sometimes you're not ready for you to say goodbye to a certain chapter of your life.
Yeah.
Or to start one, even if there's joy.
Yeah.
On the other side of the door. How do you make peace with and get excitement for and have that deep acceptance? Because I've realized I've never seen you moan. when you decide to move from one thing to the other. In fact, you're very excited. You tell me about the plan. Me, I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's a thing you'll do in a year. Kidogo, 2 months. Pa.
Yeah.
Maybe you can speak about the grace and just that acceptance, especially of changing seasons.
I think I'll go back to what I mentioned earlier, knowing that like there's where I'd want to be in life in like 5, 10, 20 years. And for me, the vehicle that gets me there, I'm not too stuck on it. Because I think that's where we get too stuck on.
Yep.
Yeah. Like the vehicle that gets me there is just a vehicle. Whichever vehicle God provides, then that's the vehicle I'm driving to that destination. Sometimes unaweza kuwa unaenda Ruaka and you have to connect. So you're not so stuck on yenye nakufikisha Kiambu Road. And then now no. You know you had to connect to another vehicle. So sometimes I think that's just how life works. And you can't get too stuck on the how, you know, as long as you achieve it. And again, I say it could be in the same career, but you just have to change your mind and how you approach things and your attitude towards it. You have to be appreciative of your accomplishments, but you can't get too caught up in your accomplishments, because if you get too caught up, you'll always think
you're always gonna be
that was your peak.
Yeah.
You have to be appreciative.
That's
like
deep.
I'm appreciative of the few awards I have. I'm appreciative of the opportunities that I've had to go to Coke Studio Danili. And sometimes the fact that I don't talk about it too much, it might seem to some people that I'm not appreciative, but I'm not too stuck because those are not my peaks. And some of my peaks to follow might not be so visible. You get? It's only that those ones were public because the thing was on telly, it was all over social media, whatever. If you're receiving an award, you're on stage. But you imagine how many probably songs I have produced that will end up winning awards and launching careers, and I'll never be celebrated for it.
Because you were in the background.
That's even a harder achievement. Like to launch someone's career is a harder achievement than, and you can't do it na my feelings.
Yeah.
You can't do it na, I'm not being appreciated, so I'll stop investing, my effort into this.
Yeah.
Like you can't be that petty. So some of the achievements that will follow might not be so public, but in actual sense, they might be greater than the ones that were public. So you can't get too caught up in past achievements. Like you cannot afford to get too caught up. You cannot afford to get too stuck on the vehicle that gets you where you need to be. It's a setup for failure.
I think that's the word of the day. Like you can't get caught up in the past and think that was your peak.
No. Let me tell you, as long as you're living, and as long as you have energy, as long as you have interests, as long as you have desires, as long as you have the chance to get an education, whether it's formal or informal, as long as all these opportunities exist, you have a chance to do better and you have a chance to do greater. And you just have to remember that.
I feel like I need a moment after that because that's deep, because it follows into what I'm about to ask you next. For example, I've wanted to start this podcast for what?
Yeah.
Umenisikia.
A minute.
Chai tumekunywa.
Yeah.
Umeni-encourage.
Chai ya ukweli hapa by the way. Mungu akubariki. Chai ya ukweli.
How do you shorten that distance between venye tunakunywanga chai unaniambia, hey, by the way, I'm in interior design school, and then kidogo 2 months later you started. For me, I battled a lot with imposter syndrome, kujambia it's not the right time, just vitu tu. And even when I started this one, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start.
Yeah.
How do you shorten that period between thinking and doing? And I feel like that's also a gift. There's someone, I think I saw it on social media that says, people who do quickly, they succeed because they feel quickly, like everything, it has momentum. And I feel like I can also borrow that from you.
Yeah.
What's the secret of that journey of like, I'm thinking, I'm strategizing, and then you don't overthink, and then you launch. Even the things that you've been telling me you want to do, I'm usually just here waiting. Nangoja tu, because I know in the next few, it's not going to be something that will take years for you to do.
How do you shorten? You start. If something is going to take you 2 years, it's going to take you 2 years, regardless of what time you start.
No, see, but I'm waiting for like the conditions to be. Now you see, August is supposed to be warm. Now it's cold. May wanted the sun.
The conditions are always favorable. I think that's just our fear talking, which is understandable, by the way. Fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
the switch, how much effort it's gonna take, how much time it's gonna take, whether it's gonna work, whether all this effort is gonna be worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the scary part, man.
When you're battling with all those things, it does. Like I see how it can cause you to delay. But if something is gonna take you 2 years to build, the only way to shorten that time is to start now. It truly is. Like you just dive in. Let me tell you, you dive in, you learn, you make your mistakes, and you just keep it moving. You know?
So it may feel like imposter syndrome is afraid of you.
No, even me, I have it. You know, I'm just a normal person. Like it takes nini bana, you know? It takes a lot of effort and
What is an effort a week?
but you know, also I think it's if you know where you want to be and you are aware of how much effort it'll take.
Yeah.
Like you just know the more you delay, you're really just costing yourself time. So you just dive in. Let me tell you, failure is common to everyone.
Yeah.
Failure is not new to anyone. Kila mtu fail mazee. Kuna job zimenichoma. Pesa, kuna job nimeibiwa. That's how I ended up doing landscaping for a day.
Hapo ndo libia do.
Libiwa
But then that's the project you were saying, like
libiwa do na politician fulani, nikasema politician never again. Hata contract, hata kukuwe na contract kusikwe. You know, one of my former one of my employees Kitambo Styles. Just Styles said something and stuck with me, man. Because he said, even if you sign a contract with someone, it doesn't matter. If a person cannot keep their word, even if ni word of mouth, if they can't keep their word, by then they can't keep it. That's it. It's that
it doesn't matter if you
whether
have
or
a
not you
contract.
sign. Because hiyo itakuwa tu kesa mwende kwa koti. Nani anataka hiyo time na pesa? If someone can't keep their word, they can't keep it, full stop. Lichomeka, man. So like
Tungekuja kwa our sisters who are lawyers.
We've lived and we've learned. But you see, also failure, to some extent, it's welcome. Because it teaches you. Sometimes, it really knocks the naivety out of you. Chalazma.
The fact that now you wake up to possibilities and
Yeah, alafu saa zingine pia inatoa ujinga. Failure inatoa ujinga sana by the way. You're like, oh, never again.
How did I not see that coming?
Never again. Unajua.
Okay.
So, failure iko. Ni venye hazionekani. You know, people always just see the success. They don't see the work that is done, you know, uko nyuma. They'll always see the success and appreciate it, but failure ni lazima, man. Failure iko ni mingi.
So Mike, you're saying to reinvent, we do the hard things, we start.
Yeah. Start now.
Yeah.
Start now. That's the only way you shorten the time, because it takes time to build. Nothing is ever overnight. Nothing is ever instant. Maybe just coffee. And even good tea, you have to brew it. Watu wakuweka tea bags. Even good tea, you have to brew it to get that nice tea. You know?
But then let me tell you, if you don't know Michael, he's such a tea snob.
Na watu mwanza kubrew chai. You know, tea was created to be brewed,
Oh
guys.
my God.
Ichemsha tu pole pole tu, yani we enjoy. You know? Mambo ya tea bags.
Me, I'll never go with you somewhere and be at peace with chai. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I just have some rapid fire questions. Not long explanation.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Is that yes, no?
No, just majibu fupi.
Sasa, nikidile ni homa. Ni homa ndio inafanya mind inakuwa slow.
Una tweak.
Kidogo.
Sawa. One thing you quit too soon.
One thing I quit too soon? Maybe cooking. Maybe that cooking channel thing.
But now I'm so tempted to ask a follow-up question.
That one.
Like, will you go back?
I don't think so. We'll see though. Who knows what the future
No
has.
third cook.
Maybe like when these companies are bringing me income, I don't have to show up to work, and I'll just put together a team. We just start creating content.
But that's what you did last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should go back to that. One pivot that changed everything for you.
That's a difficult one. One people that changed everything.
Or it can be all of them.
Yeah. I don't think there's one thing that like has. I think Christianity.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
But you've always been Christian though.
Yeah. Well, no, not always, but for the longest time.
I've known you for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like over 15 years.
That time I wasn't so serious with it, but yeah.
What's one unexpected skill you've learned along the way through your reinvention?
Hey, all this stuff I'm learning, man. All this kwanza za interior design. Nimeingia mjengo, man. Think I can plumber a bit by now. Like I can do a bit of electrical myself. As in, yeah. Nafaa kunikuta site saa zingine na madrill nasema ndaandika mtu afanye hii kazi.
There was one time I think I found a drill in your car and I was like, what's this?
Kwa hizo hata sasa kwa gari kuna matools. Tena tu nijifanyie.
Okay. What advice would you give someone feeling stuck in their career?
Feeling stuck in their career? Hey, that's a rapid fire question, kweli. You're swali.
See, you too, say start. Okay, is it?
Yeah. Look for new opportunities. Could be in the same career, but look for new opportunities and figure out how to move on to the next level. Also figure out the people who've gone ahead of you, what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always an easier way out.
Okay. What's your biggest fear about reinventing yourself?
Fear? No.
Okay.
Fear, none. Biggest fear about reinventing, none.
What's one thing that people misunderstand about reinvention?
That you have to change who you are. You're just the same guy, you're just doing a different
thing.
Yeah.
This one is the last one, and very selfishly for myself. What's your superpower in friendship?
I don't think there are superpowers in friendship. Just be a good friend. Just be genuine.
Yeah.
Just be genuine. Be good, be caring, be loving, be kind. As in, just be the kind of friend you need.
Awesome. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Oh, my podcast.
Your podcast.
I'm feeling so blessed. I always learn from you. I'm always challenged. I'm always growing. That's why I love having conversations with you. Thank you for having one on camera with me for the first time.
Kamsa.
On my podcast. What's new? What's upcoming? Do you want to tell us about music? Are you producing for someone music that we should... Actually, you have one new song out.
Yeah, I have a song with Pitson. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Inaitwa Nimemuona. Majic Mike featuring Pitson. I probably have more music coming. Maybe in the next month or two. I've been recording. I just need to figure out when to put it out.
Okay.
Mtuombe.
What are your social media handles? Also for interior design, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, wanakupataje?
Majic Mike everywhere. Majic with a J. You'll find my personal platforms there. And then for interior design, it's Majic Creative. That's, yeah.
Parting shot, ndarudi.
Ndarudi, utanialika?
Na chai, lakini usinigonjeshe.
Chai ya ukweli.
Iko brewed.
Chai ya ukweli, iko brewed. Ndio nangata kufanya hivyo, unafanya msamishikia kapa, kuna kitu hapo. Hiyo kapa ifai hata kuna
ndo tu nakohoa.
hata hakuna uzito.
Wacha tungoja akohoe. Ameongea vibaya.
Ongea vibaya. Haki mnakuwa kana chai ya ukweli. Tu yours is light tea. Yours is lakini huku una chai ya ukweli. Kujeni kwa hii podcast.
Please, when I invite you come, there's real tea for you. But thank you so much again for being here. Thank you so much also for listening into the episode. OMG, another podcast on all social media handles. We are also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and then across social media, OMG, another podcast. Thank you so much and see you next time.